Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am decluttering highlighters, and there are quite a few highlighters in here, as you can tell. Originally they were all being held in this bin, kind of divided up. So what I'm gonna do is go through all of this and then reorganize it back into that drawer. I do have some newer highlighters I think that I'm testing out in my testing drawer. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll have to go through that at the end as well. But my plan is literally to swatch all of these. So let's go ahead and start swatching. The goal is to really pare stuff down, things that are old, that I know I've had longer than the expiration date and that don't feel right are obviously getting tossed. Anything that hasn't been touched, I might put in a pile to either donate or give to friends and family, or if it hasn't been touched at all, I will probably be giving it to you guys in a future giveaway, because I want to do another giveaway on my channel at some point in the nearer future. So let's go ahead, let's dive in. They were kind of organized by brand, and then that kind of went out the window when I realized how many there were. So let's start off with the big bulky guy right here in the center. This is the Dose of Colors Revolution Triple Baked Highlighter in Goddess of Love. This is a really pretty highlighter. It still feels good and it still swatches beautifully. It's kind of got like a pinky sheen to it. According to the back of this, this is good for 24 months. So this is safe to be kept because I've only had it about a year or so. So he will stay. And yes, I know I call it he. Stop yelling at me. The Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in Incandescent Strobe Light. I love this. And this is honestly almost a dupe for the one that I just swatched, which is why I have it. This still feels beautiful. Oh, look at that. Look at it. This is good for 24 months. He is safe to keep. Still feels good. This isn't really a declutter to get rid of shades. This is just a declutter to make sure that things are still safe to be using. They don't smell weird. They don't have weird textures, things like that. Next, I have the Milani Strobe Light in Afterglow. I've used this a couple times. It's a really nice drugstore highlight. Let's see, it still feels good. Still swatches good. So I'm gonna say it's safe to stay. This one I'm concerned about. Well, wait, what's the expiration on the Milani one? Milani one is good for 24 months, safe. Okay. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion. I used to be obsessed with this when I worked at Sephora. It was my everyday highlighter, and to be honest, it was this highlighter. I haven't worked for Sephora in about 3 years now, a little over 3 years. So I'm gonna guess that this is probably, it doesn't swatch as great as it used to. And this is good for, I have no idea. This is the shade 1, by the way, but I think I will declutter this just because I know how long I've had this. I don't reach for as much as I used to. So maybe I'll give it to some family, friends, whoever may want it, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Ooh, the Balm Mary Luminizer. This is good for 12 months, and I know I've had this far longer than 12 months. It still feels good. The swatching isn't as good as it used to be. It's this one right here. Yeah, that's not swatching, so I think this guy's just maybe gone. It doesn't have the best smell to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I mean, I should say throw it in the trash. The Kat Von D Metal Crush in Gold School. This, I did a review on this when the entire 10th anniversary collection came out. And I haven't used this since, to be honest. It's not really the best formula. It's kind of a chunkier one. I held on to it just for the purpose of swatching, but it's honestly just like straight glitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate this because I just don't reach for that. Let's do the little Laura Geller one. This one's good for 18 months. This is the Baked Brulee Highlighter in Toasted Coconut. This is like a really pretty natural highlight. Still feels good. Still swatches nice. It will stay. Let's do the little rock ones, actually. I love these little rock highlights. I decluttered one of these out in my last declutter. This one's in the shade Moonlight, which is kind of a pinkier shade. Feels great. Swatch is great. And then there is Starlight, which is the more champagne color. This one feels good, still swatches good. But if I'm gonna be honest, of these two colors, the one I tend to use more is this one, the one Starlight over Moonlight. So I'm gonna put this to the side. I might declutter it at the end. Shoot. But for now, I'm keeping the Starlight one. Okay, so next I have this, and this is one of the Becca highlighters. This is in the shade Moonstone. I have had this for, again, since I worked at Sephora, and this is only good for 24 months. And it definitely is not looking good. I don't know how well you guys can see on camera, but it is all balled up and weird and gross kind of in the middle. And it does not feel good when I touch it. It still swatches fine, but the fact that it just doesn't feel right or look right, I think I'm finally gonna get rid of this. I love this highlighter. I feel like the Becca highlighters have definitely fallen out of favor in the past few years. So, bye-bye Becca. The Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter, I have the shade Pearl, which is really great. These are like putty almost. They're like halfway between the Stila ones and the Colourpop Super Shock Cheeks. And then this one is the shade Iridescence. This one I haven't really used yet. It's a newer purchase. They both still look and swatch amazing. So I think... I mean, looking at the two colors, this is the first one and this one's Iridescence. I think I'm going to keep them both. I don't know how long they're good for because they don't have an expiration on the actual packaging, but I know I haven't had these super long. Next, let's swatch this Lone NYX highlighter that I honestly never use. This is the NYX Born to Glow in Stand Your Ground. Oh, that just feels gross. Yeah, that's all gross and grainy, and it still swatches okay, but the fact that it felt like that, I'm just gonna get rid of it. The Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizers in 002. Oh, this is so beautiful. Still feels amazing. Still swatches amazing. 24, and this is in the shade 001. Again, still feels great. Still swatches good. I will keep both of these because I love these. The Persona Cali Glow Highlighter in Zuma. I haven't actually had a chance to really test this yet. The color is a little bit more golden than I would like on me. I thought it was going to be a lot lighter. It's this one here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give this to friends and or family. It's just not a good fit for me. Not that it's bad, the color is a little bit too dark. And the sad part is that that is the lightest highlighter, I think, because I always buy the lightest shade when I'm testing something, so sad day. This Colourpop press highlighter has to go. I've had this for a very long time, and I don't really use it. I don't know what shade it's in. I think it's in S'il vous plaît. But this is all, I just know before I touch it, it's gross. It's all chunked up and not so great. It still swatches amazing, but the fact that it feels wrong, and I know I've had it for a long time. I think I've had this since they launched these, like 2 years ago now. I've decluttered the other ones I had over the years, but I think it's just time to part with it. The Burberry, what is this? The Burberry Fresh Glow Highlighter in Nude Gold 002. This one is beautiful, still feels pretty good, still swatches okay. And this is good for 2 years, so I can keep him. That's that right there, the bottom one. That's beautiful. The Pixie by Petra. This I think definitely needs to go. This is only good for a year, and this collaboration is pretty old at this point. And this doesn't feel the best. I'm sure it still swatches fine. I can't really use the darker shade in here. I could only use the lighter one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter. But it is a really nice formula, so if the shades match you and it is still available, try it out. I just know I've had that for years because I bought that at Target and I haven't shopped at Target in a very long time. For makeup, I should say. Next, let's do some Wet n Wild. I have 2 of the pressed highlighters in Bloom Time, which is kind of a blush topper almost. It's very pinky. And then I have Blossom Glow, which this is the one that I do like. I'm gonna keep them both. This one I don't really wear, like I said, as a highlighter. I use it like a blush topper. These are brand new, so I know I'm not decluttering them quite yet. These are the loose highlighting powders in You Glow Girl. Hasn't even been used yet. Still has a sticker in here. I'm keeping it. You Glow Girl and I'm So Lit. Same thing. Hasn't been used yet. Keeping them both. Next, I have the Stila Heaven's Hue Highlighter in Opulence. This is good for 18 months, and I think I've had it longer than that. It still feels good. It still swatches good. I'm going to check, once I'm done filming, I'm going to check when I purchased this. If it's been longer than 18 months, I'll get rid of it, but I think I'm still in the clear, so it's going in the maybe pile. This, I think it's time to finally get rid of this. This is only good for 18 months, and I've had it about 4 years now. This is the La Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight 01. This was like the first high-end highlighter I bought before I worked at Sephora. That's how I know this is at least 4 years old. It's really pretty. It's great for like natural makeup days, but it's time to go. Next, I have the Colourpop Villains highlighters. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to get rid of these because I am a big Disney nerd, like hardcore, I love Disney nerd. And some of these, obviously, like the Facilier one is not my shade, and the same can be said almost for the Hades one, but this one I can get away with depending on the face makeup. The Facilier one is the one that's too dark, but I do love Dr. Facilier in general, so I don't want to get rid of any of these. And I do love them a lot. They're really great. The package, the packaging is so on point. Yeah, no, these guys are staying. Plus, I know that they're only a handful of months old. And these, according to Colourpop's website, because I Googled their expiration dates recently, these are good for a year once they've been open, so I have till next spring to use them up. Next, I have the Anastasia and Amrezy highlight. This is good for 12 months. I am pretty sure this is older than that. This is a really pretty highlight. It still feels good, but I just don't use this. I don't know why. I think it's because I feel like it's on the darker side for me. And it's not too dark, so I'm putting it in the maybe pile for now. Ooh, my 2 NARS highlighters. These are going nowhere. These are good for 24 months. These are still in the clear. We have Fort de France. These just, you look wet when you wear these. Like, it just looks like a beautiful sheen on your skin. This one's the shade Capri. I love these. They're so beautiful. Staying. Next, I have 2 of the Gerard Cosmetics Star Powders. These are good for I don't know how long. I have the shade Audrey, which still swatches good, still looks okay. And I've got Grace, which is the one I prefer of these 2. So you know what? I'm actually going to keep Grace, and I'm going to get rid of Audrey. Oh, that feels like such a crime. Sorry, Audrey Hepburn. It was just your time, hun. Next I have the Kylie, this is the old packaging, so I'm going to get rid of this because I don't use this. And I think this just needs to get thrown out by this point. Yeah, it's good for 12 months. I've had it for about 3 years. This is the Kylie highlighter, and this one doesn't even exist anymore because they repackaged, rebranded. This is the shade Cotton Candy. Yeah, this just feels wrong, and it honestly doesn't swatch the best, so I'm getting rid of this. Next, I have 2 highlighters from Dose of Colors. These are 2 of their collaboration ones. You have the I Love Sarah E highlighter in, I don't remember what this is in, Soulmate. This is too dark for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. And this is the Desi Katie. Everyone can tell by the packaging. This is the Fuego highlighter. This one looks darker than it actually is on my person. So when you compare it to the I Love Sarah E one, I'm gonna keep the Desi Katie. I know this has been around for a long time, but I can't bear to part with it. Plus I love the packaging. Plus I'm doing pretty good. I've gotten rid of a lot more than I thought I would have at this point, you know? So I'm doing pretty good. We're now on to, oh no, we've still got a couple of loose highlighters. These are the ABH ones that came out in the spring with the Riviera collection launch. These are not that great. I do kind of want to keep them for one reason, and that is I'm thinking of doing some cosplay kind of looking stuff, which would make it helpful to have these on hand. So I think once I have a dedicated drawer for that, I might move these down to there, but for now I'm going to keep them. I don't think, if you're looking to still purchase these, because they are still available, they're actually adding more shades, I don't think they're worth it, to be honest. I would save your money and get something else. This NYX is a brand new bottle that I just purchased like a week ago. This is the Born to Glow Illuminator, so I'm keeping this. We have the Julep Creme to Powder Blush Stick in Sheer Glow. I've had this for a very long time. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because it probably is well past its expiration. Yeah, it doesn't have the best smell to it, so I'm gonna throw that out. This also needs to go. This is Gratis from Sephora. Anything with this sticker still on it is getting decluttered out of my collection for sure. I'm sure this is all dried out now. Let's see. Yeah, this isn't even like swatching on my hand. This is the Multi-Sculpting Duo in Hot Sand, and then Laguna is the one on this side. It's a really great product. It doesn't really work because it's old and dried out and gross. The LA Girl Luminous Skin Illuminator, I am keeping this. This is more of like, it's not really a highlighter, but it's not really a primer at the same time. So for now, I'm going to keep it because it's newer. It's good for 12 months. I've had it for about 2. This is the Balm Mary Duminizer. This is good for 12 months. I believe I've had it longer than that. Let's see. Doesn't have a good smell to it. And it's a little too gold, but it is really pretty. Thing is, I know I've had this longer than 12 months, and when it comes to liquid products, I tend to get sketchy with that kind of thing. I'm gonna double check when I bought this, and then I'll make a decision. The ABH Liquid Glow in Perla. This one I think does have to get thrown out because I think I've had this for too long. But I will say this stuff is beautiful. Like, you just need the tiniest bit and you are glowing. Like, look at that compared to the balm one. Like, you know, when I really rub that in, that is still going strong. I think this one might be okay, but again, I will check them both before I make a decision. Okay, I have 2 of the Makeup Revolution highlighting drops, I think, liquid highlighter. I have the shade Liquid Champagne, which I think these just need to go at this point. Oh, they smell horrible. I mean, they work really beautifully. They were like a drugstore alternative to the Cover FX ones, but this smells like an expired Sharpie marker. This one was the shade Starlight. I used to have one in the shade Unicorn Tears. I don't know what happened to it. I think I decluttered it the last time around. But these are really beautiful. I just think they've definitely reached their time. But they swatch really nice. Let me just check the expiration date on these. 12 months. Yeah, I've had these well beyond 12 months. Goodbye. Now on to the remaining ones. Okay, these are the Colourpop Super Shock Cheeks. This one is my favorite in the shade Glazed. These are good for a year after they've been opened, like I said earlier. This one I've repaired so many times, it flakes up now. I think it's just time to say goodbye to Glazed, and if it's still available, maybe I'll repurchase it. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to it. It's so beat up. And it's really hard to use it without the whole thing coming apart when I dip into it. We have the shade Thimble, which this is a little bit more golden, but to be honest, I just decluttered a whole bunch of my more golden highlights, so I think I'm gonna keep that one. We have Scrumptious. This is like pinkier colored. Still beautiful, keeping that. We have Flexitarian. This is like the OG of these guys. Still feels good. Still swatches beautifully. We have Double Down. Still feels good. Swatches good. And actually that one's not too far off of Glaze. It's a hair bit darker. Fanny Pack, I think this one has to go. Oh yeah, this one might have to go. This is also in the same state that Glazed was, where it's just all kind of coming up in the package, and this is very old. This is from like the Hello Kitty collection, so I'm gonna get rid of this guy. And then last but not least, we have On the Cusp, which I think is the Kathleen Lights one that she just released in January. This is too dark for me to use, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it because it's just too dark. So I have those, keeping 4 of them. That's pretty good. Okay guys, so that is all the highlighters. Now what I'm gonna do really quickly is I am going to go ahead and check my purchase history on the ones that I set aside, which are the following ones. We'll check some of their purchase history. But these guys to see when I got them, and then I'll sort them in just a minute. Okay guys, so I double checked, and the Stila and the Mary Doomanizer need to get rid of because I've had them for way too long. According to my purchase history from the ABH website, not the ABH, the Ulta website where I purchased this, I've only had it around a year, and since this one's still good, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. The Lorac and Anastasia Amrezy, this is older, but it still swatches fine. It looks okay. The Lorac one though, I know I've had this for a very long time, but I think what I'm gonna do is actually keep both of these, just because I don't really have a shade similar to this or this, so I'm keeping them both. So now, the next step here is going to be to organize them into this drawer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out, and then I will reorganize them. Okay guys, so this is how I have them organized. We have high-end, drugstore, and then anything that's a liquid or cream-based product is in here, with the exception of the Colourpop ones in the plastic, in the paper packaging. The ones in the plastic are kept down here. So we've done good, guys. Getting rid of 21, keeping 36. I mean, that's really good, actually. That is 37% when you round it up. So that's pretty darn good, guys, to get rid of 37% of the highlighters, especially considering it wasn't due to colors or anything like that. It was just due to how they feel and how long I've had some of them. So that's pretty good to see. It's all organized. Now the next thing to do is move on to the next drawer. I'll see you guys in the next declutter. Bye!